Filipino combat systems.
So what we were showing before is a little bit of the differences between longer blades and shorter blades. So now we're going to go into a little bit of the functionalizing the art aspect. This is going to be typically kind of what you see on the street. You're going to have anywhere from a 3 to 4 inch blade. It's going to be a pocket knife for the most part. Some people carry straight blades. But this is pretty much the size. And like we talked about earlier, the longer the weapon is, the more it can be conducive to the mechanics of stick. And the shorter it is, it kind of becomes this hybrid of hand, right? Because if I was to take this length of this blade and put it to where I would be grabbing it, notice it's just the same thing as my finger length. So why do you got a boxing glove on? The reason why I got the boxing glove on is because the range is so similar that when I look at knife sparring or knife technique like this, when we're talking actual practical application, I'm looking at the same mechanics as slap boxing almost, right? Because if I'm going to do a redondo, it's not going to, there's really no power in this. My redondo is going to have to look like that and come from my body, right? But if Charles holds out his blade, right, look at him hold out his hand now for his jab. If he's square up, look at how close he is, right? So now I don't even have to worry about this. I got to worry about his backhand too, all right? So if he's in the process of feeding a shot and I'm moving out of the way, right, he can be throwing that backhand because he's right in that range, right? So this could be the most dangerous jab cross combo you've ever seen, because if I throw the cross, right, or he throws that lead punch and I slip, that next shot coming through can be the blade, all right? So when we're looking at the techniques, we go to the same kind of mechanics we do for sparring. Okay, my weapon's out. I just have this hand up just in case something comes through. Obviously, I want to have my jawline covered. I want to have a little bit of bent knees, all right, and I have my blade forward. The issue you're going to find a lot with this is that when we start to hit each other's hands, you're going to bash each other's knuckles a lot, right? So you have to kind of use the body to angle some more. The smaller the blade is, the greater the agility of the blade, okay, the harder it is to take away. So this is going to be a much, harder target to hit. So there's not even going to really be all this, empty hand checking quite as much. I can get it in there, but it's going to be so fast that it's going to be not conducive, right? So we'll just to show the technique, right? We're going to be in here a little bit, okay, and we're just going to kind of move around a little bit, okay? So from here, things we're thinking about. First thing I'm looking at is the hand. The hand tells me where the attack's coming from. If he has his hand in one position here, whoop, whoop, there it is. See, there came the punch. So I never known that punch is coming through, right? So I keep that hand up.
Right jab or left cross.
Okay, he starts adding that backhand in, it changes the dimension of what's going on. So realize that you can have the blade and the hand, but if he starts throwing the hand first, right, now his hand's busted. It's when he feeds the blade and I react to the blade, or let's say he goes low, right, that hand should be looking at possibly coming in, right, when it makes sense. Because if you feed that, you have to be ready for that. There's a lot of old school stuff that's like, take a shot to give a shot, right? He blocked with his forearm, and then they show this, right? It's not a good idea. That's like back in the days when we had shields or bracers, right? That'll take his arm off. So what you want to do instead is only feed that hand if it makes sense. If we were empty hand, That could make sense. Let's say he's got the blade and I don't. I throw a punch, he clears out. Let's say he switches stance even. That can make sense. So I got no weapon. He checks his hand down, his live hand, right? There's no real adverse consequence for him. But if he feeds that hand burst and he switches, switch your stance, yeah. Okay, we're here. Okay, now one of his weapons is gone, right? So while we're here, we have to make sure that this equals weapon out. Good. Okay, this is gone. Doesn't matter. Okay, because it's equal. All right. He doesn't have to have his weapon forward now because he can pair me out. Because he's not going to get stabbed. You know, what am I going to do? Throw a punch and he parries? Right. And now he can use that more effectively. Okay. That's a little bit of how this works. So we'll go for a few rounds and then we'll switch out.